So I want to talk about Stop Killing Games. It's something that I've not necessarily avoided talking about on stream or in a video like this, but it's certainly something that I've tried to stay out of, because I don't want to bring any kind of like political stance to my content. But I feel as though I also need to put my foot in the door here and try to explain a few things to ease off on some people's confusions regarding what Stop Killing Games is and what it necessarily means to myself, or at least my explanation of how Stop Killing Games can help preserve games and what it means. This is the thing. This is why I didn't want to talk about this kind of stuff. But again, due to the recent things that are going on with a certain someone not being very nice about it, I just feel as though that I need to say my piece, because I've had this bottled up for a while. It's not really something that I've scripted, as you can probably tell. But hey, if you like to talk about more of if that's something that would interest you, but maybe this video is not that entertaining, chuck me on your second monitor. I'll pour myself a glass of this and I will babble, and you can just listen. If you want to leave a comment, great. If you want to like the video, fantastic. I could do with the watch time. Thanks, guys. This started, or it got me thinking, back when I picked up this controller. I purchased a new controller, and I thought to myself, what kind of game can I play where I can test this out? So I took a look through my Steam library, and I wanted to take a break from Clear Obscure and not being able to parry because I'm a chump. And I settled on a lovely game, maybe you've heard of it, called Burnout Paradise. Now, on Steam, they only have the Ultimate Box, or should I say, the Burnout Paradise Remastered. They don't have the Ultimate Box available on Steam anymore. They only have the remastered version, because the game was released in 2009 on Steam, and they shut down the servers in 2019. So you cannot play the game online anymore. There's no servers for you to connect to. When you sign in at the very beginning of the game, it will tell you connecting to the servers, but it will not connect. It'll tell you there's a problem. It will tell you there's an issue, and you just carry on as if nothing happened. So you can still play the game, but offline, technically. What that means is that you have access to every little bit of single-player content on the quote-unquote disc, which is great, which is fantastic. You don't need to be connected to the servers to play the game, which is great, which is what Stop Killing Games is about, kind of. You don't have to be online to play Burnout Paradise, the Ultimate Box. But it's also no longer available on Steam. You can no longer purchase it. You can only purchase the remastered version. And the reasons why, as you can imagine, will come later, are not surprising, because it's EA. And EA are arseholes, as we know. There is one big problem with not being able to connect to the servers, and that's the DLC of the game. The DLC for the original Burnout Paradise is no longer accessible because you cannot connect to the servers, because there is no checklist, there is no check, there is no signal to say, hey, you can access this DLC. There is nothing in place for the game to acknowledge that you own the DLC, and then therefore you can access it, because it needs that server connection for you to access the DLC that you paid for, the DLC that is on quote-unquote the disc. So I'm not able to access the DLC that I paid for back in 2009. That's an entire map. That's a new region, Big Surf Island. New map, new cars, new super jumps, new billboards to smash, new races, new challenges, new shortcuts. Like, all of that is currently locked out. I don't have access to that because I don't have access to the servers, because the servers have shut down. So a quick editor's note here. I am a massive moron. I didn't do my fact checking correctly because I didn't obviously script or plan this video. The whole problem here is that Big Surf Island was never released on PC to begin with. So my whole point about Big Surf Island and not being able to access it is completely moot because I'm a moron. But The DLC that is currently listed in the Burnout store that is no longer available is still viable. My point about that is still valid, because those DLCs contain stuff like online-only cars, online-only vehicles. So even if you had the DLC installed, but you were not playing online, you do not have access to that DLC. Those cars are locked out because you need to be online to drive them, which I still think is a bit bullshit. Anyways, back to the video. This is where the whole stop killing games thing comes in. Because if EA were nice enough just to tick a box and go, hey, you know what? We'll activate all the DLC. You don't need to check in online anymore, because obviously we're shutting the servers down. So you can continue to access the DLC that you paid for, along with the rest of the game offline. But they didn't. Because they want you to purchase the remastered version. Now, again, going back to Stop Killing Games. If the Stop Killing Games initiative was already in place, that would have required EA to say, actually, you know what? Because of these new legislations, blah, 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 we're turning off the servers for Burnout Paradise Ultimate Box, but you can still access all the DLC. That's it. That's it. Perfect. That's great. Everybody's happy. Those who don't have the Ultimate Box can purchase the remaster. Those who continue to own the original can still access the DLC that they paid for without having to check in online, without having to connect to a server anymore. Problem solved. Easy. Job done. So the remaster itself contains Big Surf Island, which is a entirely new map that's like secondary to the big main map that you drive on. It's somewhere where you can go do all these big stunts, big jumps and stuff like that. It's a whole new environment for you to play around in. Currently, in the remastered version, not in the original. Not anymore. There's a Cops and Robbers game mode. Pretty self-explanatory. Can't do that anymore, because the servers are down. There's legendary cars, there's the bikes, there's the toy cars, there's party mode, which is technically offline, past the controller kind of situation. There's Boost DLC and a Cagney DLC. Like, it's on the screen now. You'll see it. Everything that you're looking at right here is either unavailable because it's not online anymore. The servers aren't there. It cannot check to see that you own the DLC, or it's on the disc. But again, you're not connected to the servers, so you cannot access it. This stuff is taking up space on my hard drive, and some arbitrary bullshit reason will not allow me to access it. Weird, that. Unless I spend £17.99 on the remaster, then I can access it all again in 4K. Ooh. If it works, because if you do purchase the remaster with all the mixed reviews, your mileage, pun intended, may very well vary. A lot of people saying they're being banned for no reason. The game keeps crashing. It looks the same as the original, and it crashes when you alt-tab. There's a lot of, like, yeah, it either works or it doesn't by the looks of things. But for myself, I'm enjoying playing the original Ultimate Box without the DLC, even though I own it. Even without all the fancy bells and whistles, the 4K textures, the Steam badge, the achievements, the points shop, it doesn't matter. All of that is vanity. It doesn't matter. There is a way to get it, and ironically enough, it's called the Vanity Pack. It's a mod that acts as an unlocker for the DLC. It tricks the game into thinking that the DLC is active. So it gives you access to the toy cars, it gives you access to the legendary cars, it gives you access to the Boost special cars. It does that. It gives you access to Big Surf Island and all of those challenges and all of those races and all of the criteria that comes with it. It gives you everything. And that has to be done through a mod, not through any official means. You have to go out of your way to download a mod to access stuff that's already on the disc. And I think that's kind of disgusting. Like, a lot of people are talking about The Crew being shut down and Ubisoft being assholes about it, and how we should be used to not owning our games. But the way I see it is that they advertise a game and then they sell us a service. We purchase the game, but we receive the service. And then once they shut down the service, the game that we purchased is no longer playable because they've deemed it necessary for them and for our benefit, apparently, that they need to shut it down. We need to take away the game that you purchased, the game that we sold to you, that we advertised, the game that we advertised, the product that we advertised. We need to take that away from you because the service that we're providing isn't as profitable anymore. You don't get to play the game that we sold you because the service we offered instead is no longer profitable. Granted, all of that is a lot of extra work, and that is stupid, but these games should be left in a playable state when the official live service for it shuts down. Because at the end of the day, it's just a game, and the game is worth playing. If people are still putting their time into it when the servers are going down, then they should be allowed to. Everyone should be allowed to. I have been gaming for 30 years. Okay, I'm showing my age now. Fuck, I feel old. Right. Hello, everybody. Transitions are weird, and I do apologize. I look very different. It is dark outside. This is a couple of days later, and I was going back through the recording before I rendered it, and I realized, like, I'm babbling on a little bit. So I thought I would use the best tool that he uses to help explain what it is that I'm talking about. So I wanted to clear it up before babbling on about more and more and more and yapping this and yapping that, because I yapped for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes almost. It was ridiculous. So I just wanted to clear this up. So here we have the dev. Yep. So we're going to call you dev. They make the game. Okay, this is game. We're going to go do that. That's ridiculous. So we got me, my friend, and my other friend. Right? We all own the game. Well, sorry. We own a license to the game. Okay? And each and every single one of us connect to the server to play it. That's how games as a service works. The developer hosts the game on their servers, and we connect from the game to their servers, and they provide us the service, including a shit ton of microtransactions. That's how it currently works. What we are asking for when it comes to Stop Killing Games, okay, I'm going to get rid of all of this. The devs say, right, they go, you know what, we're not going to support this game anymore. So they cut the server. It's gone. It's completely gone, right? It's just them, right? They are working on their own thing, their new thing. But they say, hey, we're going to release an update to say you don't need to connect to the system anymore. You can download this and be fine. So me, my friend, and my other friend, right? Say I'm in the middle. This is, I gotta stop pressing the keyboard. This is me, H, because my first name is, it begins with an H. And I say, you know what? I'll download the server software so I can host a server for us. And my friends who own the game can say, hey, you know what? Cool, that's fantastic. Let's join your server. Brilliant. That's fantastic. Okay? Here's the issue. This here is of no problem to anybody. I am hosting the server privately on my own network, and my friends who own the game can connect to my server, and we can all play together. How is that causing a problem? You do this with Minecraft. Like, I don't know how else to better explain it. The devs release an update to say, hey, you don't need to sign into the server anymore because the server no longer exists. It's gone. It's kaput. So I can say, hey, guys, I'm running the game. I'm also hosting the server. Here's my IP address. Guys, boot up your games. and join the server. We can all play together. We can run that dungeon. We can complete that mission. We can get those rare items that you guys couldn't get because the servers are shut down. Yeah. This here is it's a closed system. It's an ecosystem that's completely signed off, completely disregarded away from the developer, from the publishers, from the devs. So people, I say people, so companies like Ubisoft telling us that microtransactions are actually a good thing. They're actually a good thing. Like, you need to be comfortable not owning your games, and microtransactions help people, help gamers experience their fun, like more fun. Like, that is hard cope. They are coping so fucking hard, it's unreal. It's bollocks, because while the new game is being published over here and being supported by the developers with the servers, me and my friends are playing our own game on our own server, hurting nobody, minding our own business, vibing in our own lane, unbothered, moisturized. We're fine, we're good. This hurts nobody. Ooh. Okay. This hurts nobody, but they want you to think it does. They want you to think that this hurts the developer. They want you to think that this hurts them. But it doesn't. It absolutely does not. They've already told us that they're no longer supporting the game. They've told us they do not care about the game. It's no longer giving them money. We're shutting it down. We don't care about it anymore. If they cared so much as they say they are right now, then they shouldn't shut down the servers. If they are so adamant that we should not be playing the game outside of their servers, then don't fucking shut it down then. Surely. If you're so upset that people are still trying to play the games that you are so desperately trying to shut down, then maybe you shouldn't fucking shut it down in the first place. Either give up and move on and let us do our own thing, or host the servers a little bit longer until you definitely know for sure that the servers are completely fucked and you're not getting absolutely any money whatsoever, upon which case, let me just fucking get rid of all of this real quick. Because what you should be doing is saying, hey guys, we've hosted the server for far too long, longer than we should have. The community for this game is still so very strong, so what we're going to do is we're going to push an update to say, hey, here's a software update, a server update for you to download the servers yourself, or the software to host a server yourself, so then you guys, without our interaction, can play it because we no longer want to host the server anymore. So you guys can do it yourself. And it has no involvement from the developer. And the developer can go on and make the new game that other people can connect to. The new live service, the new microtransaction hell. And those who want to continue to play the game can continue to play the game. Once a developer has said, once the game devs have turned around and said, hey, we're shutting down the servers, they are basically saying that we do not care about it anymore. And if that's the case, then they have no problem. They shouldn't have a problem to allow us to continue to play it. The only problem is corporate greed and control. They cannot have you playing or continue to play a game they are no longer supporting, because that means you are no longer buying the new thing. You're no longer buying the new flashy game that they are supporting. Because if you are in this little system here, with your friends, playing the same game that you've played for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. This game that they're now making, that they're now supporting, is currently getting less people to play it and to purchase it. Because these 3 people are now playing the new flashy game. You, your friend, and your friend are no longer you haven't purchased this game, so your reach, or their reach to you, is being closed off. They want you to stop playing this right? And start playing the new thing. And that's all it is. It's control and greed. They're chasing profits. They don't care that there's a community behind the game, because once the game's gone, they're going to release another one. It doesn't matter about the game. It's about the service. They advertise a game, but they sell you a service. I'm pretty sure you could argue that it's false advertising at that point. They could say like, oh yeah, no, it's games as a service. It's not microtransactions, it's surprise mechanics. Let's be real, that was bollocks. But you could argue, you could very well argue that it's false advertisement, because they advertise a game, but they sell you a service. They need you to use their service to keep the game running. If you do not use the service, the game shuts down. And that's the problem. Because you can host your own server and disconnect from the developer entirely, from the publisher, from whoever it is that is hosting the servers. You can completely disconnect from them. And they hate it. And that is a good thing. So keep it up. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep pushing for SKG. I'm kind of half cut. Cheers. I'm going to take you back to the video now, because I'm pretty sure I yap on about a few other things. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'd like to be monetized, please. I would very much like to pay rent. Check me out on Twitch, by the way. Twitch.tv/digital125. We talk about a lot of things. We play a lot of things. Good bit of fun. Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. So, Burnout Paradise, the Ultimate Box, is no longer available on the Steam store. They took that down. They delisted it when they shut the service down, which I believe was around 2018, 2019. I think it was around 2019. So you cannot purchase it anymore. But those who still have, who did buy it, me, I can still download it. I can still play it offline. That's great. Steam has already done half the challenge. It's already done half the work. Steam has allowed me to continue to access this game that I paid for that is no longer supported by EA. And they do that with your entire library. Yay, Steam. That's another Steam W. Well done. Why would you remaster a game that you don't think is popular, that you don't think is profitable anymore? It clearly is. You just wanted to stop people from playing the old one and then give them a reason to spend more money on a new one. The exact same one, but with a little few bells and whistles. Woo! The Ultimate Box itself has been unsupported for so long that it's fully functional on the Steam Deck. There's no cloud save. That's a given. That's fine. But it's fully functional on the Steam Deck. I can drive this around like it's my goddamn birthday. Is it this one? Yes. Oh, in reverse. My bad. Oh god. This is fully functional. Doing surprisingly well here. Meow, fucking whoosh. And this is a game that was released in 2009. I don't get it. I don't get it. Big companies need to sort this out. They need to come to an agreement. They need to come to an understanding that the ball is no longer going to be in their court. The live service bubble, I've been saying this for the last decade, the live service bubble is bursting. It's not getting them as much money as it used to. Every year it's less and less and less. They might record like, oh, crazy profits of a game that came out in 24 hours, whatever. But it's bursting, man. We've had enough. $80 games can do one. I don't think, I can't remember the last time that I purchased a game at full price. I've always waited for it to go down in price, or to be released as a bundle with everything included. I bought the Arkham collection for like less than £8, and that was 3 games with all of its DLC included. Every single one. I bought The Witcher 3 for less than a tenner with all of its DLC included. Absolute bargain. You should vote with your wallet, people. Tell them how it is. We're not paying $80 for games, and we want to play the games. We want to keep the games that we purchase. Because that's what we do at the end of the day. We're purchasing a game. We're purchasing a game, not a service. So sell us the game, not the service. Let us keep the games that we play and pass the service onto another game. I don't even know what I was talking about. I just wanted to get my words out there, man. I'm just blurping everything out. Stop killing games, guys. Sign the petition. Tell your friends. If you're in the UK, if you're in Europe, sign the petition. Tell your friends. Have a good evening. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. All he had to say was that I don't like it. All he had to say was, I'm not going to support it anymore. I don't like it, I'm not going to support it. That was it. Instead now, he's basically kicked this beehive. Jesus. Because either his ego's too big and he thought that we'd love him for it, and thought we'd find it funny and agree with him, or, like... all of this could have been avoided. It could have been avoided, and all he had to say was, I'm not going to support this.